privilege to even sit here with you, man. You know, I think they're just as excited to see you perform, I know I was, as going to a Morrissey concert.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff could have been really great for him, but... I am a poor, freezing cold soul. That's seasick, yes.
So far from where I'm determined to go.
Yeah, there you go.
That's you?
That's seasick, yeah, that's me.
That one to me is even more impressive.
I think I just wanted to write a song, really. I think that's what it was. You know, I just...
You wanted to go back to the old house, huh?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it kind of was that vibe. Originally it was just written on acoustic guitar. And, you know, I had this riff and Morrissey said, you know, I want it to go around another however many times it was. I was like, oh, this is crazy, you know. Mick Ronson really added a lot of the atmosphere stuff on there. He added all the serene kind of Ebo guitar parts, the dreamscape. On top of that, we would never have thought of that.
So I have to say, I think Seasick Yet Still Docked is one of my absolute favorite songs of all time of any artist. And you wrote it. That's huge, man. That's huge. Why don't you find out for yourself? The Killers covered that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty flattered by that because I really like the Killers. You know, I've never met Brandon, but he would definitely be somebody I would be interested in working with. Well, it's funny, you know, how I got to write for Morrissey, I suppose. I'd always written demos and written for my own stuff.
Right.
And I think the reason why I've gone out doing my own stuff was that over a 30-year period I've written so many songs that have just been sitting on the shelf.
Right.
Yeah, and I've been doing that with a combination of new stuff. Obviously, Higher Power's a newer song and Experiment's a newer song, but you know, I've got such a large body of stuff. I may not be... if I'm half as good as he is lyrically, then I'll be alright, but when it comes to music, no one can touch me. I know what... I have that, yeah. I mean, luckily I have plenty of experience on that. But I am singing my truth. It's not like I'm going up there... I'm not out there to be a rock star. If it isn't fun for me, I won't do it. And all the guys in my band said the same thing. We've all worked with people, we've all worked with, you know, ego situations that we treat each other like how we'd like to be treated, which is total respect, you know. And we want to go out and have fun, want to exude fun, but you know, also my music is for real. It is my life body of work, and a lot of it's been sitting on the shelf and it just seemed a crime.
What was it like touring? I mean, the crowd's just passing out, going wild.
It was mental in 91 and 92, I gotta say.
Live in Dallas?
It was, yeah, from like that period to, you know, your Arsenal tour, it was just absolute insanity. I think it was the tail end of the 80s crowd and the white college radio kids. Like, I hate to sort of, but it pretty much was that kind of crowd. It was like there were a lot of Smiths fans, but there were a lot of Smiths fans that hated us when we first arrived, and probably rightly so, because we were a little bit scrappy when we first started. We weren't particularly that good. We looked great, but we weren't that good. You know, the Smiths had generated, you know, they worked so hard, and in a way they set us up for when we finally did hit America. You know, the fans were just really eager to see Morrissey play again. So, you know, a lot of people either liked it or they didn't. You know, like I said, a lot of Smiths fans at first, they didn't like us, you know. I was like, oh no, this sucks, you know. You know, because the Smiths were brilliant and they were so consistent. And when you think about why were they so consistent, well, guess who was doing all the writing? One person. If people are wondering why stuff is so inconsistent with solo artists these days, there's maybe too many cooks spoiling the broth. I wrote pretty much all the songs off of You're Arsenal.
8 out of 10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 out of 10. And
You're credited with 80 credits.
it's probably the same as Johnny, I don't know, but
Did you get to know Johnny Marr?
I've met him.
We have chocolate
I've
now.
met him a few years ago, and it's really funny. He said to me, he said, "Oh, I get to ask you like what everyone asks me." So I was like, "What's that then? Do you think you'll ever play with Morrissey again?" I just was like, "Oh, no, I don't know." And anyway, I met him again the following day, and I said, "Hey, I thought about your question that you asked me," and he said, "What's that then?" I said, "You asked me if I'd ever go back and play with Morrissey again." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I've got the right answer now." He goes, "Oh yeah, what is it then?" "Only if you were doing it." He went, "Fucking hell, wouldn't that be some band?"
Wouldn't it? Oh my god.
That's what he said, which was really, really nice. And then he said, "Have you met Craig Gannon?" I said, "No, actually, I haven't."
Craig was on my radio show years ago.
Oh, was he?
Boz didn't know it, but I had Craig in the lineup after him. To this day, I don't think Boz knew that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Very lovely guy. We've been listening to these albums, The Experiment, absolutely love this. So at the show, I hadn't met Alan, and I said, "Hey, we're from Alabama." I saw his face like, "You drove all the way here."
Well,
we were visiting our son, and I said, "By coincidence."
No, I was just a bit blown away that someone was had come all the way from there.
I wanted to talk to you about your career with Morrissey, because obviously that's a huge body of work that you did with him.
Yeah, I did a session, and the session didn't go very well, and I got blamed for like messing up the session because I was a bit jittery and nervous because oh my god, it's Morrissey,
Right.
Plus I was a little bit out of my depth. They wanted me to play piano on Pregnant for the last time, but the song was too fast. I wasn't good enough for it basically, and I kind of, failed this session, and Boz was mad at me at the time. He's like, "You were in the session, blah blah." I'm like, "Oh man, oh well, whatever, and I was gutted, But then I was rehearsing with Gary and Spencer in the Rockabilly Band, and we went to this pub called the Richard Steele's. We went upstairs, we thought, we'd have a quiet drink up there because it's a little bit quieter up on the second story, In walks Morrissey. And my hair was all washed out, and all the other guys looked really cool, they had their quips, and my hair was all flat, I looked like a total donut, And I was like, oh no, man. Well, anyway, I bottled up some courage and walked over and went,
Mama,
"Hi Moz, do you remember me?"
why did you say
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
good?
He goes, or he says to me, "What have you been doing?" I said, we just finished up rehearsing, we just thought we'd come in here and have a drink. I said, "I've been rehearsing with those guys over there," and he looked over, and then he said to me, "Oh, would you like to be in my video?"
The Tomorrow video, right?
No, it's actually the Sing Your Life video.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was the Sing Your Life video, was the first video, because Mark Nevin's in that video. And I sort of said, yeah, absolutely. So when I went back over, I told Gary and Spencer, and Gary was like, "I want to be in that band with that guy, are you kidding me?" I was like, "No, you don't understand, this is huge. We have an in. I suggest that we go and rehearse up a ton of Morrissey solo stuff. So, because I get the feeling he's going to ask us to join, So I just went on hunches, and I was right. We did the video. We didn't even know what we were playing, man, to be honest. Didn't even know the song. It's all over the shop. We might me badly, But a lot of my friends, a lot of fellow rockabillys were in that video because it was shot at that club where I first met Morrissey, I suppose.
Where can we go then to see the schedule? Upcoming schedule, is that something to be announced, or because?
Well, if you want to find out what's going on, you can always check my site, which is alanwhytemusic.com, and you'll see all the latest info there.
And is your new EPs then available?
Yeah, they're available to be purchased through my online site, Alain Whyte Music.
we have a 19-year-old son. I was playing Alain Whyte for my 19-year-old, and he was asking where he could download it. It's all downloads nowadays,
Nice.
But it's somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Higher Power should be out digitally
Mm-hmm.
in the digital realm on October 1st. But we'll be selling vinyl pre-release orders
Nice.
probably this coming week. So.
I appreciate that too. You taking the time out to get me this and sign it.
No,
for my wife and
I missed your message before. I felt really bad. So.
Now is Red Lightning also available on AlanWhyteMusic.com?
It is. Yeah, you can pick up that CD, and
Okay.
you know, there's limited stock on that stuff because I think we only pressed up about 1,000. So we've only got a few hundred of those left now.
Pick it up, AlanWhyteMusic.com. Thanks so much for coming by, man, and giving me all this time. Nobody touches this guy, working with so many different bands, including Morrissey. But now you can see him debuting his album, The Experiment. Make sure you pick that up, AlanWhyteMusic.com. Thanks so much for coming, man.
Wasting my time in thinking there'll be a next time. And I know in my heart as it tears me apart, it makes me really have to think. A shot in the dark and a huge question mark. Who am I and what's everything? And the days when it says it just won't go away. Even in the darkest hour, you're everything I ever need to make me believe in a higher power. You make my heart bleed. You're everything I want and everything I need. Even in the darkest hour, you're everything I ever need to make me see in a higher power. You make my heart bleed. You're everything I want to make me believe in love. In